Hello and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we will be drawing this guy, the guy that's on the screen right now. This is a viewer's OC. He had asked me to draw it, so I decided I might as well. And if you would like to see this viewer's channel, I will link it in the comments. But as you can see, I have already sketched something out. It was just the rough shape, just so I wouldn't have to do it in the video. But now we're going to erase it and just use it as reference. Now, I should have erased it more before the video started. But alright. So we are going to start with his head, or more correctly, his chin. Now wait, no. I'm supposed to be drawing this in my style. He asked me to draw it in my style, and although I feel as if I don't fully have a fully developed style yet, I definitely have something I can do. Alright. Not perfect, not terrible. We're not going to mess with it. The head's usually one of the last things I do. We're going to add his neck. He has a pretty thick neck. I think this character of his, regardless of if he intended to or not, it looks like it's inspired by Dragon Ball. Or a Dragon Ball character. Like, just because the pants that he has just remind me of Goku's pants. But, yeah. I could be wrong about that, though. Because, well, I didn't ask him if it originated from somewhere. Alright. And I do hopefully want to darken the lines with that black marker thingy, but I can't guarantee that I will get to that. Because I'm lazy. Alright. Now we just drawn his little jumpsuit that he has. Or that isn't a jumpsuit, but you know what I mean. We're drawing clothes. And I feel like I might struggle a little bit with his arms, because his arms are pretty bumpy, but in the way that I would draw them, I'm not entirely sure if I can fully get away with it. So we're actually going to put off drawing his arms, and we're going to draw his body. Now, I meant to say his legs, but we're also drawing his body first, too. Now, I am trying to follow his picture that he drew to a decent extent, trying to not change the character. But for the hair, I may have to change it just a little bit, like the outer shape of it. But it shouldn't change that much. And I did point his arm in a more upward direction than the reference has, but that is fine. Also, sadly, because of how I drew him on the page, I will not be able to give him his scythe, which is his main weapon. Which sucks, because I did actually want to draw the scythe, but because of how I drew this, I'm not going to be able to add the scythe. But just know he does have a scythe, and scythes are a pretty badass weapon. Scythes are a badass weapon in fantasy settings, but if you were to, like, take a scythe into, like, a real-life fight, like, actually try to use it in real life, oh, scythes suck. But they're so cool, though. I have a couple characters in my own stories that use scythes as weapons. But they really only work in fantasies. Because, well, you want them to work, so you can get them to work. I'm doing this wrong. That's fine. We're going to do it with this side. Alright. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing with this, because I'm not the best at adding clothes wrinkles when I don't have a reference to go off of for clothes wrinkles, but I'm trying my best right here. Alright. I think it looks decent. I think that one reaches out a little too far. I was trying to follow the reference, but don't need to follow it exactly. And I actually think this guy's drawing is pretty sweet, honestly. I think it's a pretty nice drawing. Now, oh shit, oh, there goes my pencil. Okay. Alright. I guess if anyone else wants me to draw their OCs, you can, I think his leg's too small, but you can also comment them, because, well, I like drawing stuff. If you guys have your own characters that I could draw, that would be better practice for me, because then I'm just drawing more stuff. Alright. Alright. Also, this guy's character does have a name. I'm like 90% sure it's Axel. Of course, when I go to say it, I forget what it was, but I'm like 90% sure that the character's name was Axel. And he does have a pretty decently cool backstory, because the one guy whose character this is did make a video explaining him, and I recommend you check it out if you want to hear this guy's backstory. I won't spoil it because, well, why would I spoil it? That's mean. What if he wanted to watch it? Alright. This is definitely not perfect. It's not going perfect, but it's not looking bad. I am spending a long time on these pants. A longer time than I probably need to, but also I still am not a professional and don't entirely know what I'm doing, so trying to make it look like this stuff like comes to tuck into these boots that he's wearing. I'm also giving him boots because the feet are so, oh wait, his legs are extremely pointed in the incorrect directions. I just realized this one is pointed like way that way and this one's pointed not that way. Okay, that's fine. We can fix this. That was a whoopsie by me. I wasn't paying attention. I'm pretty sure I did draw the reference area sketch thing like that too, but it made a little more sense for that little sketch. Those are sharp for some reason. Okay. Let's... Alright. Oh, whoops. Making it sharp again. Alright, let's go ahead and go like that. Alright. Oh, I also had just done my first tutorial video earlier today. This same guy's character that I'm... The same guy that's character I'm drawing asked if I could make a tutorial, and I said sure, why not? So I made a tutorial on how to draw a side profile face, except for I'm not the best at drawing those. So it's not the best tutorial, and I definitely recommend looking up a different tutorial if you want to learn how really well, but I think mine teaches like at least the basic. Which is like what I was going for, really. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing on that little last part right there, but kind of want to make his legs just thicker so I can just connect it right here. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Then it makes this side thicker than the other one, but oh well, what are you gonna do? Alright. Now I'm going to give him sort of a little belt type thing right here. Because it kind of looks like he has a little something there, but I can't fully tell, so I'm just going to give him one. Alright. There we go, that's good enough. I don't know what that noise is, but we're going to ignore it. Alright, so both these legs are kind of different, and I definitely think this one looks better than this one, because this one's a little too robotic, or like, repeated. I could fix it, but I'm not going to, because, well, I've already said many, many times, I am lazy. I still kind of made this leg point out a little farther than I wanted to, but, you know, whatever. Now, the next part should be drawing his torso, you know, or not torso, that's his torso right there. Should be drawing his arms. Which one do we want to draw first? Let's go ahead and draw this one first. I wish I could extend his hand off the screen. This isn't a screen, but you know what I mean. No. Well, let's try building it from the other end. Oh, excuse me, please get off of my screen. Thank you. And let's try building it from this end. Okay. Okay. Perfection. All right. There we go. That arm looks a little too bulgy, I think. It's a little too, like, gets thinner up here. It should either stay one thickness or well, that's what I meant to say. It should, like, stay one thickness. So we're going to try to make it stay one thickness, but with this. done. That's a no-go for me. That's also a no-go. Maybe if I just try doing like a little just just a little quick thing. Alright, yeah, that actually looks pretty good. I'm gonna try to make it look a little better now. Give him a little bit more of a shoulder blade because he's pretty buff. Make that just a tad bit sharper because I do like the sharp style as long as it's used correctly. There we go. So that is a pretty thick cuff. I think I'm going to thin the cuff just a tad. Just a tad. And then just a tad over here. Alright. And then there's this little sleeve. And this is a cuff. I don't know what I'm doing there, but that's a cuff. We're going to not draw his hand at the moment. That's a little unnatural, but we're going to leave it because I think it looks pretty decent. Now, on to... Should we add the... No, we don't want to add details just yet, you know. Now onto this arm, which I want to flip the canvas upside down to draw this, but I don't think I'm going to. I want to learn to draw with my right hand, too. Need to learn how to draw with my right hand, too. Right. No. Alright, so how thick is that? About that thick, so we'll go like this. He doesn't really have these cuffs that I'm giving it. It looks like he kind of has it on this arm, but I think that's kind of just the sleeve. He drew it up the arm a little bit. But I'm going to give him the cuffs because I think it just sort of ends this a little bit more naturally. And it lets me get away with doing stuff like that. Alright. There's two cuffs, there's two arms. I don't really like this arm, it looks a little too flat, and it's because I just put it straight down instead of, you know, giving it any character. But I think that's fine. It'll be fine. Because I don't want to erase and draw it again, but it is really short. It just looks disproportional. So we're going to draw it again. We're going to stick it out a little bit, the arm, and make it bend. How are we going to handle it bending with this folding of the fabric stuff? I'm not entirely sure, but we'll figure it out. Alright, I definitely need to add some more folds in the actual clothes too, but I'm waiting on that until I am adding detail. so we're going to get that tooth there. Get this tooth, that's where the armpit's gonna be. Hold on, the arm will be like this, it'll come out to like here, and then I can bring it back in like to right here. No, we don't want us to bend out that far. Let's erase those lines, get that. We don't want it to bend out really far. Alright, we're gonna try to Alright. 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 Okay, so okay, that's fine, I guess. I don't really like it, but what are we gonna do? Are we gonna keep redrawing this over and over and over again? I'd rather just not. It's not perfect, but, you know, whatever. Alright. Okay. Let's get... Okay. Oh, we're gonna ignore that little pit right there for just a little bit. Now, give him muscle there, maybe? No, I'm already gonna... He's not gonna have much muscle right there, just because of... Make it look a little better. Okay. Okay, now on to his clothes. Rooney, it kind of looks like he has a necklace in between, but I don't actually think he does. I think that's just the fact that the picture, I have it like pretty zoomed in on my computer screen, so it's pixely. Now, he's got 3 buttons on his shirt. Well, these might not be buttons, but like... He's got 3 of those on his shirt, and they are filled in, but I'm not going to fill them in just yet, because I don't want to add like a ton of shading and stuff to things. Now, he does also have what looks like a sword and a bow on his back. I'm not going to draw either of those, because of, I can't actually tell what they actually are. So I just do not want to. And I don't really like drawing bows that much. I think they're fine, but I don't enjoy drawing them as much as I do swords. And the sword's mostly hidden, so I'm just not going to. It also looks like the sword's upside down, which makes me think it's not a sword, though. but also it could be like that so he could grab it from under right here, because it looks like the blade's right here. So the handle would be here, but also it could not be a blade at all. I could just be wrong. What do we need to do now? We're adding detail, so that means we're going to add some folds. Not that type of fold, but we're going to add some folds similar to that. Please stop gaming up on my screen. No. Do this like that. We're going to this. I don't think I'm actually going to draw the boots purely because I've never been good at drawing shoes. I don't know how I feel about those lines, but you know, whatever. I think they're fine. I don't feel like these leg lines are the best, but we're going to go ahead and just keep them. We're not going to add any more because I don't want to accidentally ruin it by over-adding them, you know. We can add some to the arms since these do seem to be made of the same material as these pants are, or at least a similar type of material, you know. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and go like that. Go ahead and stretch it, stretch, 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 stretch. Just add some folds, you know. Alright. Then I'll probably put some lines there, but not at the moment. He doesn't... Oh, you know what that might be? That might be a shirt underneath, you know, because he probably has a shirt underneath this. I'm going to go ahead and give him a shirt underneath this if he doesn't have one. It's just a white tee or a gray tee or whatever, so... Alright, so I actually think this is looking pretty good. This is not the typical thing that I draw, but this is how I would draw something if I were to draw it. So yes, this is my style, I guess, but it's just not what I would typically draw. Now we're going to give him a mask, and his is sharp, but I am going to round it. Well, it's supposed to be filled in, but I don't want to fill it in yet, so we'll just do that. I'm getting it a little wrong. It needs to go like that. How's that? Okay, that's fine. It looks a little off because the line is thick, but if you like look at it, you can tell it's fine. Now onto the hair. The part that I really didn't want to do, because his hair is kind of a little bit of a mess, but it is an organized mess at least, so I can actually still get something off of his hair. I can still get what his hair might look like in my style, I guess. It's just not exactly I just don't exactly know how his hair works fully. I did, in his video, he does draw a bigger version with better, like, clarity of the hair, but this is still big hair that is like this, somewhat like this. And then there's like a line up here for the hair. And then the hair comes down and covers where the eyes would be. Which I can definitely do. I can definitely cover the eyes. I am no stranger to covering eyes with hair. It's usually unintentional on my part, but I do it a lot. However, his eyes here would not actually get covered by the hair because of how I drew this. Strange. First time I've tried to cover the eyes and not covered them. Well, I guess it would really only show a little bit, so I'm just gonna leave the eyes out of it. Because, well, eyes can be a pretty big part of the character, and since he does not have eyes showing, I do not know if he has special eyes. So, I don't want to draw something I shouldn't. Alright, I think that's actually pretty good. I do think that this goes out a little too far, so we're going to try to make this go out a little less far, but still be pointy. I still want it to be like pointy like that, but rounded but pointy. No, it needs to be down more, that's what it is, but go out less. Some really strange hair, but I bet this hair will look really good as he refines the character and gets better at it, because this is pretty unique hair, I think. Oh, you know what? I'm making this line entirely too straight. I just realized it's pretty curved. Oh, no, that just curves the end. We need to curve the entire bit. Alright. There. Then we'll do a little bit of the same thing with this. Alright. Alright. Then we're going to draw that hair right there. And right there. And I'm actually going to add some things that his hair does not actually have. Just because this little part looks a little, whoopsie, it does look a little empty. It might and probably would look better when I add the color to it, but at the moment I just want to add some little hairs that may not be a part of it, but I just want to add them. Alright, let me grab a... Alright. Please, hey, stop selecting that. Okay. Alright, so yeah, that is him done in terms of me drawing him. So now I need to color him. And you may ask, how are you gonna color him? Done. I am going to time-lapse this part of me doing this because it is going to take a while. So meet back in a second. Alright, I messed up the recording a little bit at the end there with the time lapse, but here it is. Here is your OC, and yeah, I hope you like it. I'm gonna go ahead and write his name down. I'll go ahead and put it above his name. A X. I'll do what you did when you wrote it and add a scythe on the X. Oh, there. There's his name. There's your drawing. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. If anyone else wants me to draw their OCs, go ahead and comment it. See ya.